All right, guys, welcome to our next segment of the voice chat. Again, we're going to be hosting these every day now. We're going to do our best to try to bring new topics up as we're doing the focus mainly on copy trade. There can obviously be some repetitiveness that comes, but I want you guys to be able to come each and every day and be able to gain new value from each and every visit that you come. So yesterday, someone asked me a question, and it was like a more of a theoretical question. And they're like, if you were down to your last 0.5 SOL, what would you do? And that made me have to really think, if I was in that position, how am I going to make the most of it so I don't drain my last 0.5 SOL, but I expand that and I can continue on my journey? He also asked, if you got up to 100 SOL, what would you do? And I gave an answer for that too. But I thought that was a really great question to ask for me to be able to, think theoretically, what do you guys need? Like, what are some things that you guys may be going through that I can put myself in that position and be like, what would I do if I was at that point in time now? So that gave me the idea. A lot of you guys are new, especially a lot of you guys who are coming to voice chat and spending your time getting information here. A lot of you guys are newer to this or are a little bit lacking in experience or just want to gain more experience. So I decided for today, we were going to take it as if I was just joining Zelfi Guru today and what that would entail. Where would I start? And the end goal of anybody joining Zelfi Guru should be to be able to become a profitable copy trader. Yes, there's other things like, the gems that come out. There's snipe calls, but largely and mostly Zelfi Guru focuses on copy trade. And I know a lot of us here, majority of us here, are mainly focused on copy trade as well. So I'm going to take you through what I would do myself if I just came into Zelfi Guru. Now, obviously, I have a lot more information now about the product and about how I would become a profitable trader. But I'm going to pretend like I'm starting from the top and where I would start, okay? Now, I made a list that I'm going to go through. And as I go through these, I'm going to try my best to share with you guys on screen how it looks, so you guys can get a visual representation as well. At any time, if you guys have any questions, you can cut me off and just say, hey, you know what? Stop here. I have a question about this. But if not, I'm going to just keep on going. So we're going to start with the first thing I would do if I was starting off with Zelfi Guru is I'd make sure I learned how to use the bot. So using the bot is very simple in practicality. It's very simple to do. You just take a wallet address and you paste it into the bot. So that's simply, effectively how you bring up the information. But now being able to utilize that information, that is the point that I'm going to talk about, because copying and pasting an address, anyone can do that. I could teach you how to do that in a second. But utilizing the information that comes through when you copy and paste an address and being able to make sense of it completely will really give you an edge. Now, a lot of you probably understand the information 80%, but there's a couple things that you don't understand. But now again, it would be a lot better if you understood everything fully. So if I went through and I pull up any type of chart, I look any type of wallet in the profitable wallets or a wallet that I scan from Dex Screener, you guys are going to be able to look at it and know exactly what everything means. You should be able to do that. It's your responsibility if you want to become the best copy trader that you can be. again, the responsibility is to know exactly what it is that you're looking at. So let me try to share my screen here. I've done tons of voice chats over the years. I've never shared my screen. So I'm going to do my best to do this, and I think it should work out pretty well. Telegram would like to record this computer screen and audio. Yeah, that's fine. Just give me a second. It's making me go through system settings to allow this. Just bear with me.
You got that, bro.
How's everybody's day going while I plug in the information so I'm able to share my screen here?
Oh, very good so far. Very good. It's late now here. It's 0 a.m. So sleeping time, but I'm curious for your informations, man.
Yeah, for
Is you
sure.
also
No,
from Germany? Sorry for interrupting.
no, it's okay.
No problem, bro.
I just wanted to ask Max, like he sounds like he has like a light German accent, so I just wanted to ask if he's from Germany.
Yes,
Oh,
you're right.
Okay, all right.
My neighbor
I see. Yeah,
from the
indeed.
Netherlands.
Oh, hello,
okay.
neighbors.
Yeah.
No, I'm from Germany as well. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, go.
Okay, so are you guys able to see the screen right now?
No.
I don't.
No.
Okay, how about
Oh,
now?
no.
Okay, good stuff. We got it working. Okay, like I said, it was my first time doing it. It will
Yes,
be a
me too.
bit of a rocky road, but now I have it. So every time I need to go to share a screen, I already have the permission set up. It will be as simple as me going to share the screen. All right, so let's go back into what we were talking about. Again, the first thing I would do if I came into Zelfi Guru, I was a new user, and I had a little bit of direction. Say I talked to Serge, he said, you need to learn how to use the bot. So again, you paste the contract address. It's pretty simple to use the bot. Right now, I'm going to go through and actually go through profitable wallets because it's going to have a lot of wallets for us to look through. And we can start seeing kind of what we want to look for while we are looking through these wallets, and what do these flags mean, what does the unique tokens are. And again, you should have 100% confidence when you look at this information that you know exactly what everything means. So we can see the first token the first wallet we pulled up here. We can see the information about it. We can see the profit, we can see the ROI, we can see the win rate. And then we also have the visual representation of the green days versus the red days. And then underneath that, we have the corresponding right here. Someone asked me what the numbers meant underneath. These correspond with the green days and the red days. So see 0.9, that corresponds with this bubble here. We go over here, the 0.4 it corresponds here. We see the negative 0.5 here, and that's going to correspond here. Again, it just matches up with the bubbles that you see. So you can see actually how much profit or how much loss was made in that day. Okay. And then as far as that goes, does anybody have any questions? Are you guys fully understanding of that?
I understand, but I have one question. Like
Sure.
the days the days of the bubbles, like the first bubble, is this today? Like today? Is
Yeah,
this
so the first bubble would be the most recent day that it is recorded. And it oftentimes is the day prior to the today, but depending on when you're looking at it. So this would oftentimes be yesterday.
okay? So the first bubble up front is like today or yesterday.
Exactly.
All right.
And then it just goes on from there.
All right.
Okay, so we all understand that correctly. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, so profit, and it's telling you it's over 30 days. So over the 30 days, this is the profit that this trader had achieved. Now, it is important to know that because you want to be following traders who are making a decent profit over, the 30-day time. If we looked at that number, even though the ROI could be great and the win rate could be great, if you only made 2 or 3 sold profit over 30 days, it may be something that, we don't want to entertain there, right? And again, I'll get through each section and then I'll open it up for questions just in case there's any understanding. Then the return on investment, we can see that it is at 50.17. So that means that if they're putting a SOL in, their general rate of return will be equivalent to their 1.5. So a 0.5 SOL coming back with this ROI here. And you got to remember that sometimes the ROI could be 400% on a trade. Sometimes it's going to be, a negative percent on the trade. So this ROI is also divided by all trades to give you an average value, okay? And then the third thing that we look at here is win rate. And win rate is saying, on a win, if you get one win, you'd be at 100%, and then you get another win, you're keeping your streak at 100%. But say you got one win and then you got a loss, you're going to have your win rate only at 50%. So it is a combination of pretty much the ratio between your wins and the losses that result in the win rate. So the reason these things are important, just as I mentioned, profit's important. ROI, you want to make sure that you, on average, their trades are bringing in a decent ROI. Again, if their win rate's really high, but their ROI is sitting at maybe 10%, there's not too much room by the time you account for slippage and you account for gas or anything. Even if they have, a 90% win rate with a 10% ROI, it's just not going to be something that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, essentially. And then finally, with the win rate, obviously, the higher the win rate they have, the better it's going to be for you to trade. You are going to take more wins generally if the data remain true. Say they stay at the same win rate, then you are going to be losses. Again, let's say a trader has a 75% win rate. Out of 10 trades that, about 7.5 of them are going to result in winning trades. So, there's still room for 2 to 2.5 trades that are going to result into a loss. But again, statistically, you follow him over 10 trades, you're going to be up. If you put one SOL and he's bringing in the profit of one SOL, say his ROI was 100, and it was on average a 75% win rate, over 10 trades, you're likely to have around 7.5 SOL that is going to be returned back to you. Now, after every question, every section, like I said, I'll open it up for questions just in case there's anything that needed to be clarified or you just have some misunderstanding, because at the end of the day, when we go through this, you should fully understand how to utilize the bot. Thav, I see that your mic's going off, but I can't hear you at all.
No, I just wanted to say I understand, so thank you.
Okay, perfect. Good stuff. So let's just move on to the next part. Flags are important. I believe now they're coming out. So if it's below 30%, it will still show the token in profitable wallets. But if there's lots of flags, it's just not even going to show it in profitable wallets, which is great. But again, there's instances when you take it from Dex Screener, if that's where you're looking under profitable wallets, where you're going to plug it in here, and it is going to have more flags than 30% because again you're just pulling that information from Dex Screener and you're not getting it from these wallets that are selected and curated for profitable wallets. But on this one, for instance, we can see didn't buy tokens. So we know there was 12 tokens that weren't actually bought, meaning they didn't buy into that token. So it was airdropped to them, something of that sort. And for this trader, it works out to be 7%, which isn't that high, but still, 12 tokens that were just airdropped to them. It does affect their win rate because they're going to obviously take a win on that token, and they didn't buy it at all. So that's something to be mindful of. First trade was a sell. So this is going to make a lot of sense when obviously they didn't buy the token. So if their first trade was a sell, we see here it's at 20 times it occurred. It worked out to be 12%. Obviously, you're not going to have those sells occur on those 20 transactions because the token was sold before it was bought, and sold more tokens than bought. He has it at 26%. So this can work out in different ways because there could be a point where he actually did buy the token, but it was also airdropped to him as well. So he has more tokens than he did buy. So say he bought 2 SOL worth of the tokens early, but also got, 1 SOL airdrop to them. That's how we get those numbers on sold more tokens than bought. And I'm going to be going through a couple more tokens with you guys as we have on this profitable wallets here. So we'll see a couple other flags that we didn't see here likely as we go through them. Does anybody have any questions on that section there for flags?
Yeah, if it's not already the case, is it maybe possible, like at the win rate, to have it shown without the airdropped percentages in and the flags to calculate them out of the win rate? Is it possible at all?
I will actually have to get this information from Surge to see if it is possible to see if some of that's already in works. But it is difficult to do because they did have the token. So when they did make a sell, it's going to show up in their profit, right? You know how we look at back up to here, like it is going to show up in their profit. It is going to show up green. It is going to show up for their win rate. But I can bring that up to him. Every time you guys ask me questions that are more suitable for Surge, I always drop him a message and see, what that looks like in the future.
Actually, I'm here tonight, and I'll say next things. That's always was a big matter of arguing with the team and with the people who were using our services. They were saying if there are such guys which are getting tokens airdropped and so on, why can't we just remove this information and show the clean data for the person who will be selecting wallet for copy trading? And in this situation, we have seen a lot of user cases when if we remove this data, then the person, for example, sees that the wallet is profitable. But when he will be, for example, he will be getting airdrop, he will be doing first sell, then after that he is doing a small buy and doing a sell of some more airdrop tokens. It's not about how hard to calculate what amount he sold and so on, but it is not giving you the real value at what price was the like the wallet got the coin, and how much percentage he got from his own sale or from the airdrop sale, because airdrop sales are actually like free money.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you want to see the flags and how many number of them, and how much is the percentage. We can remove all the dirt, all the dust from the wallet, but in this situation, when you will be copy trading, you're just doing what you can do two things. You can place that on notifier, on some wallet notifier, which will be like spamming you transactions wallet really did. And the second thing you can do is you're placing that on copy trade service. And in the situation when we are removing all the dust, like all the flags, all the dirt things which wallet does, in this situation, when a notifier will send you transaction that this wallet had achieved, had received some amount of tokens, you won't be like prepared for this information if we just remove that this wallet have like airdrop tokens and so on. So you will be like be in situation when you ask yourself, this wallet has received some tokens. What should I do with this information? Should I come into the coin, or should I skip it, or what should I do? But when you see like the flags and the percentage, you will understand that this can rarely or can happen rather often. And in this situation, you will probably make some strategy before placing your money in copying this wallet or following him manually. So that's the reason why we are keeping the data clean as it is. So we are not removing some like strange movements. We just want people to be aware that there is some percentage of his trades which are happening strange for copy trading, and you will probably have some problems with copying him. But it still doesn't mean that you are not able to copy him, or you are not able to put him on a notifier and make some strategy for his trades. So that's like a place for some creative work, I would say.
Yeah.
So
that's a fair point. And then you can actually in your mind like count some percentage of the win rate yourself, and like yeah. All right, no, that's fair. I get it.
Yeah, so essentially, what that summarizes is it allows the data to be true, so you're not misinformed, but it still gives you the flags so you know what is going on. And for someone like myself, I know you asked if we could just exclude those. I would rather see what's going on with a trader that I'm trading. So having these flags here, since I've used, the wallet checker so many times, I can instantly look at the flags and be like, okay, this one's not going to work for me, or okay, this one has minimal flags, this one has no flags. And it's good to see what the wallet is truly up to, and the flags just help you make a decision if it's something that you want to go forward with and how you want to proceed with it too. like Serge said, if you just want to put it in a wallet checker, or if you're like, these are pretty minimal flags and it looks like it only happened 1 or 2 times and he has a lot of trades, so I can still go forward and follow this wallet because everything else checks out.
Yeah, what I was thinking of was like under win rate, maybe put win rate minus flags, but that's just me being lazy, honestly. So yeah, never mind.
I don't even think it's being lazy, but it's just it just affects the data, right? And it makes it a little bit more complicated. I really do think that with the flags just shown here, and we know the win rate is affected by those flags, is the best way to give us like a full encompassing understanding, and maybe and not being lazy, but yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
You're good there, mate. Okay, so
one moment. We just write on the screen on the translation. We can see one good example of the wallet. I don't mean he is good for copy trading. I just mean it's good for talking about. Here is the wallet. It's called Scalper. He's coming with hashtag Scalper. He have wallet balance of 87 Solana. And in last 30 days, you can see that he's actually actively trading. His ROI might be not so big, like 500%, but he did 172 deals of unique tokens, and there were like 236 buys, and his average buy was almost 1 Solana. 1 Solana is like he did 0.85 sol trades average by some, so it's around $120 or something like that, and you can count it pretty frequently. Like he did 236 buys, he did 200 sales. That's around 300 deals. And you count that on 1 Solana or just $100. So it's the total volume around 30,000. And he is thinking like 50% ROI. So oh no, I counted wrong. Minus amount of money he spent. That's why this guy have 100 sol profit. And you can see a lot of people talk about I am watching wallets around 200% ROI, around 60% win rate. Guys, it's not always about the like big numbers. Can any of you tell that making this guy made 100 Solana? We will just increase that on the amount of $100. So this guy made $10,000 with his ROI of 50% and win rate 59%. Does or is, I don't know how it's correctly called in English, is it $10,000 is a bad value as a monthly salary? I don't think so. And the next thing which I want to tell, a lot of people tell, oh, this wallet have flags. I just skip that from researching. I'm not going to watch any of his deals, and I'm not going to watch the graphs because this wallet got flags. And what should you understand in this situation? This wallet is actively trading in last 30 days. We can see that by like all the circles are
colored,
are green or red. And you can see that he is like trading every day. And his amount of unique tokens is 172. If we divide this by the amount of days for 40 days, that will be like 6 tokens a day. And if you now watch onto the flags, you can understand that on 31st day, which is not represented in our like stats or our data, that guy could make 6 deals, which could be represented in current day as didn't buy tokens, or his first trade was sell. So if you see now that didn't buy tokens is like the amount is 12, but we can count that he is making like 6 trades a day of unique tokens, then we should understand that in real, this guy have like 4% of flags, and that's really pretty small. And all these rules goes for all other flags which we can see, which are presented in this data.
Hmm.
Perfect. Thank you for the further explanation. I mean, if I can give you guys an explanation, it's pretty going to be summarized and condensed, and I'm trying to make it as understandable as possible. But, you know, if you get Serge on the explanation, you're going to get all the intricacies of what it exactly means. So thank you so much for that. I do want to move on now. I want to get through this whole thing so we can make sure we're understanding what we're looking at every time we pull out a wallet. Because again, we're looking at profitable wallets now, but it's still going to look similar to this when you're pulling it off of anywhere. If you're pulling it up from DEX screeners, top traders, and whatnot. Okay, so we're moving on to this section now. This is unique tokens, and again, Serge pointed it out, 172. So we can see with this trader, although his ROI may not be the highest, he is making a lot of transactions, and he's making a lot of SOL over the month with those transactions. So, you know, if you go in and you go in for, say, a 0.5, and you're making, you know, close to what he's making in terms of your ROI, you could fare out like close to, you know, 50, 40 SOL at the end of the month following a trader like this. So when we're looking at the unique tokens, they're broken down, and the breakdown, you see the emojis and you see the colors, but the breakdown is right at the bottom too, right? So someone was asking me, like, what do they all mean? Well, it directs you to it right here. So like the first section is lost over 50%, and you can see that 14% is there. So lost under 50%, so he still retained more than 50% of his value on that loss, is at about 27%. Moving into over under a 2x here. So they made profits, but it was just under a 2x. You have 71 here. So he's making, you know, that's the largest percentage we've seen in this whole trading section. That's what most of his trades are going to be. So that makes sense when we look at his ROI, that most of his trades aren't quite, you know, a 2x, but they're falling somewhere just under a 2x. And then we move on to the green section, and that is between 2x and 5x. So if he hits a 3x or a 4x, it's going to fall in there. If he hits just under a 5x, it's going to fall in there. And you see he has a pretty good percentage here, 8. So those are a little bit bigger wins that he had got. And then for the largest wins, which are 5x plus, we always see at the bottom with the rocket, and he did 6. So you can look at this data, especially when you have, it doesn't matter if you have larger amount of unique tokens or a smaller amount. It's always nice to see when your traders are able to hit some mooners sometimes, and you know you're going to get those 500% gains sometimes. And it's not that he does it fairly often, but he fairly often, you can see with the 71 at just under 2x, he fairly often makes profit, and again, all contributes over to the ROI. So I will consider that the end of this section, and then we can move on to the next. Does anybody have any questions on any points in this section? Should be good and self-explanatory, but if there's anything you want to clarify. Okay, great. So moving on to the next section. So we could see, again, there's unique tokens 172, but we can see there's 236 spots within, this period of time. Remember, we're calculating it over 30 days. So we can see that sometimes he's buying more than once on a token. If he was only buying once, it would work out to be 172. But we can see sometimes he's placing multiple trades. And this might be an important metric for you to look at, especially if you don't want a trader who is placing so many buys. Because sometimes you see the unique token be a certain amount, but then the buys are like 5 times more than that. So if you set him up to 0.5 and he buys, 5 times, that's 2.5 SOL that you're using. So you want to be cautious with that in terms of the buy amount. But we can see here that generally he buys, just a little bit over the 1 amount of token. So, and probably a few trades, 4 trades that he has going on, every 3rd or 4th trade, he'll place an extra buy. And then we see the sell is 206. So the sell is actually lower than the buy amount here. So that could be a variety of reasons. He may still be holding some positions in some tokens. And again, as far as the sell point goes, he could have been buying, let's say, for example, 236 times, and he could have bought twice on one token, but then he only goes and sells once. So that is going to be reflective of, how the buys could be, a little bit higher or a lot higher sometimes than the sells. So that gives you an idea of how he's scaling out as well. So seeing that the buys are at 236 and the sells at 206, it's safe to assume he's usually selling his buy position at once. I have a lot of traders who have a lot more sells than they do buys because they scale out over the course of sometimes 5, sometimes 10 transactions on a single buy. They'll scale out in portions, and it works out to be 5 or 10 more sells. So that's going to affect that as well. But by looking at these things, you get an idea for how this person is trading. So we can see that this person's generally not scaling out, and they'll sell all at once. Average time between buy and sell, it works out to be 4 hours, 52 minutes, and 29 seconds. So he actually has quite a bit of hold time there. So if you're looking for someone who's making, profits very quickly, this might not be something that you want to set up in your copy trade. But if you're okay with, holding that position throughout the day and it doesn't make you antsy or anything, and he's going to hold it for about 4 hours on average, it's, again, another thing that's good to have as an indication if this is the type of wallet that you want to trade or not. Serge already went through this, but his average buy sum is about 0.85. That's a great buy sum for me. Like when I'm looking at traders to copy, I want it to be around like 1 SOL to 3 SOL range. So when they're selling, like even if they took like, a 3x or 4x, they're not like, again, if it was if it was 5 SOL that he was buying, he hits a 3x, a 4x, that's 15 SOL or 20 SOL, and that's going to be sold right before I sell. And you want to be aware of the price impact that these these traders you copy may have, because with the ROI and stuff, if he's taking a heavy price impact to the chart and dropping it by 20%, you want to be aware of that's going to lessen the potential profits that you have. But again, for this example, just so you guys have the knowledge, you can see that he's buying quite reasonable size, and when he exits, it's likely not going to take as big of a price impact. So you should be able to get closer to the ROI that he has there. And then we see the section under this, and this is going to be the last 10 trades that he had here. And as far as the none goes, I had believed that to be if it was a pump fun token, but I can have Serge, he's not here to clarify that, but I believe that it was a pump fund token. It can be if it was an airdrop. I need to get further clarification on that too. But then we can see for the rest of the tokens, it says the names of them. And generally, we had been seeing the profit from these tokens as well. So when I put them into my scanner, maybe it's coming up different with the profitable wallets, but when I put it up to the scanner, I think you guys have seen with the new update that you can see that what their recent trades have done as far as what the ROI was on that. You guys can see that with yours, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we are good for that portion. It's important to, like I said, understand fully what you're looking at. If you understand fully what you're looking at, you're going to make better educated decisions. But now we have gone through the whole aspects of what this data means when it's pulled out. So now that we went through the whole aspect of it, you guys should have 100% understanding of what that data means. Do you guys feel comfortable with what you're seeing now and knowing what everything means and how it could affect a trade?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so if you guys have any questions at any time, again, feel free to stop me.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Okay, go for it.
Me or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My question is, I was in your room yesterday too and listening, and you said you talked about partners and all of that. What is your strategy for sorting the wallets? What do you look at?
So when you're saying partners, it seems separate from your question, because
No, I just wanted to refer that I listened to you yesterday.
Okay, I got you. So your true question is, when you look at all this data that we have, throughout here, I'll select throughout here because I don't actually use the Excel sheets. I'm more of a visual learner. You're saying when I look at all this data, what do I look for?
Yeah. What do you look for to suggest, okay, this could be very profitable for me?
Yeah, so that's a great question because everyone has different strategies, but I'll go on about my strategy in particular. But I don't want to discount what Serge said here about this wallet making 100 SOL, right? So say if you were to copy it for exactly what it buys and sells exactly what it sells, say the way he's buying doesn't have too much price impact where, first he's buying in at a point where there's not a lot of buys going on. So you get in with relatively low slippage so you can maintain close to his ROI. Then obviously this is going to be good to be trading because you're going to come out near 100 SOL. You know, your copy traders usually make more than you. But if you came out with 90 SOL from this, or if you came out with 80 SOL from this, following it for, you know, a month, you know, you should be pretty happy to copy a wallet like that, right? But as far as the question goes, it was more directed to me and my approach. And I don't love being in tokens for so long, and I might at some point add this to my strategy. Add tokens or add traders who are like this to my strategy because, again, they're making money. So if I'm making near that money, I mean, that's a pretty good person to add on if at the end of the month I'm around there too. Even if it's 80 SOL, 70 SOL, anything like that, it's pretty good to add on. But that's not what I generally look for. I'm generally looking for traders who have a higher ROI. And for me, an ROI around 100% like is a super good ROI. You do not need to find someone who has a crazy ROI like 200%, 300%, 400, 500. And the reason being is because you got to remember that ROI means on average. So on average, if the trader has 100% ROI, that means on average, I enter a trade with him and I'm going to hit a 2x, right? It actually means more than that because it works out to be over the course of 30 days. So there's going to be some times where I hit a 5x with him, even though he only has 100% ROI. But there's going to be days where, you know, it falls into this section where I lost over 50%. And that all goes into that ROI. So again, an ROI that I generally look for is around that 100% range. And if it's 80, 90, 95, you know, I'll take it too, as long as the win rate can be something that is good for me as well. So again, we went over how even with a 59% win rate, imagine this guy didn't have any flags because, I mean, his flags are quite small, but let's say he didn't have any flags and it was truly a 59% win rate. That I know that out of 10 trades that he is winning 6 of those trades, but I'm also taking losses on 4 of those trades. And it's like, do I have enough capital to make that go on? Does that make sense for me at this time? Or do I want someone who is hitting a little bit higher with their win rate, closer to 70 or 75%? And again, generally, to answer your question, that's what I look for. I look for someone who has a higher win rate because, like, as much as I know that over time it is going to work out, likely if the win rate, you know, remains the same, it's going to work out. I don't like to see too many losses right now. Like, I like to see winners come in, winners come in, winners come in. And if I hit a loss with my trader, I know that, like, the statistics show that next time he trades, he's going to hit a win. And he should hit a win 3 times in 3 times because it's 75%. He already took his 25% loss in the 4 trades. So I know his other 3 trades statistically should work out to be wins. So that's one thing that I look for between this section. I do look at this section for sure because it's just a good visual representation. But, you know, the statistics come when you look at this section here. But what I do like about this first section is when you see someone who has a little bit lower of a win rate, it may not be such a bad thing if they're mitigating their losses, because a loss is a loss, right? Regardless if they lost over 50% or they lost under 50%, it's a loss. So if they lost
under 50%, like you accept under 50% more than 50%, right?
Can you repeat that again?
I mean, it's better to take the under 50% than the 50%. I would rather take the loss
every day
under 50% than over 50% or 50%.
every day, man. Like when my traders have a loss and it's like I look and I'm trading with like maybe a SOL or 2 SOL on average, and I look at my loss and it's like 0.1. It's a 0.1 loss. Like I'm like, it doesn't phase me at all, right? But like when you hit a trader who literally gets rugged and it's a full SOL loss, it's still a loss, and it calculates it in the win rate the same, but those losses hit you different,
Yeah, that shit gotta hurt.
Yeah, so the reason I was saying this top portion can be especially good is because we can quickly look at like, okay, what on his red days, how much is he losing? So he only lost 0.5 on the first red day we see, but then he gained 7.1% on the next day, 7.1 SOL on the next day, 6.4 SOL on the next day, 5.3, like 13.9. You know what I mean? Like, so that loss is pretty small. We move on to his next loss. It's 0.4 for the day. Again, that loss is pretty small. I can live with that. We move on to his next loss. We got 0.5. So this is the only like I feel like this is the only like major loss that we see here. Sorry, it's not 0.5. It's 5 SOL. So like he took a pretty big loss on that day. But you see the rest. We gotta be smart when we're looking for traders because these things matter in statistics, right? And we look for he took one bad day when he had a big hit, but then the next day was a loss too. But it was only 0.4 of a loss, and then 0.3 of a loss, and 0.2 to 2 SOL as a loss. So he's making relatively small losses. So you can see that through this right here too, where you see 14% is his lower category for the losses. So most of his losses fall under the 50%, and even though it says under 50%, that loss could be literally like 1% loss or 2% loss. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Let me cut you off short because another question just occurred. Would you rather copy a trader with no losses at all, or would you rather copy a trader with some losses? Like that one with no losses at all is the chance to take a loss. You understand what I mean? You understand where I'm going?
Okay, so over the course of time that you find a trader who's traded a full 30 days who didn't take a single loss is like super, super rare. Like I haven't found it myself, and when I do find it, it's a sniper and I can't copy it, so it's like not profitable. So like every single trader that I trade has taken losses, and I know that. So I know that like when I plug my trader in, again, let's say on average it's around a 75% win rate. I know that out of every 4 trades, he's going to lose 1. So I'm prepared for that. But yeah, I would rather follow a trader who has losses because, it's always going to be the case. If you find a good trader who has good history, he's going to have some losses there. It's unrealistic to find a trader that never loses. I mean, can it happen? Sure. Have people found wallets like that? Sure. Does it last forever? No. Eventually, they're going to take a loss anyways, and it is going to change their win rate. You're not going to find many guys, win rate 100%. Once you do, they usually have maybe 2 or 3 trades. As soon as they get closer to 5 or 7 trades, that win rate drops to like, 80%, 75%, whatever.
Amiri, I have a question also.
Sure.
So this is in relation to the average buy sum. When setting up a copy position in Trojan, does it make sense, especially with these scalper type traders who often DCA in on positions? Doesn't make sense to do a percentage of their sum or a set amount? I know that you've mentioned before that maybe set amounts would make sense, but I was thinking that for those DCAing situations, maybe a percentage, like you look at what they put in and then you just do a percentage of that.
No,
You know?
you're completely right. Did you have anything further on that question? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no,
I
no.
thought.
That's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. If it is a person who like is DCAing, and it doesn't even have to be a scalper. I have a trader, and he's pretty scary to follow sometimes because of how much he buys. But he buys a lot. Like he'll buy, two soul and then drop another 2 soul and then drop another 3 soul and then drop another 2 soul. So the way I strategize with this guy, I know what he's trading. So instead of just doing a percent of what he's trading, I just do 1 soul because I know like 1 soul is going to be at least like usually half of what his average buy is. And it works out for me. So I keep him like that. But there is instances where it makes more sense to follow someone at a percentage, regardless if that's 100%, if that's 50%, if it's 25%. Again, it has to make sense for you. But I do have, for example, traders that trade so small, but they're very good traders, but they trade with close to like 0.15 or so. So I actually put their trades on at 200%. So I'm trading on average a 0.3. And that's a strategy that makes most sense with them. But this was actually part of the talk that we'll get into because, again, when I opened up this voice chat, I said, if I was a new trader and I just came into Zelfi Guru, what would I want to do first? And the first thing I would want to do is learn the bot because that's the main tool that is showing me all the information that's going to help me decide whether or not I'm going to put it into my wallet. And if I don't know it fully, then I might make decisions that are wrong because I just don't understand some of the data. You were just talking about strategies, and I do have that actually on the list of things I want to cover tonight. But I also, let me get to that at the end, because I try to format this in the things that I would do first, because I find them the most important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So we can go through a couple more of these just so we do have a better understanding of what we're looking at, because each one's going to be different. So let's just go up to the next one here. And again, the information is all going to be, the same layout, so we know what to look for. So the first thing that we want to look for is a visual representation. I already told you it's good to start looking at it and see, like, okay, when they are taking losses, how big are their losses? Because that matters. And I see he's taking pretty good gains. I see an 18.5, I see a 10.1, 16 soul. So he's hitting quite a bit, and then I'm seeing 2.6 soul loss, 4.9 soul loss. I also see a 0.7 soul loss. So I mean, he is mitigating his losses decently in terms of how much he's making on the day. So like you can see the amounts that he's making versus the amounts he's losing is quite decent. But now we go to look at the next section. So again, his profit is very close to the guys we were just looking at. So over 100 soul over the month that he had been trading. But at the same time, we want to see, okay, so the ROI is 50%, but the win rate's 54%. So even with his win rate being slightly better than, at a loss, because, if the win rate's under 50%, like, I mean, that trader is trading at a loss, he's still able to make profits. And going down to the next section, I'm going through it quicker because I assume that, going through it the first time, everybody said they knew what was going on. Now we can go through these quicker. And then we go to the flags, and these flags look relatively low, 7%, 4%, 3%. So it is relatively low. And then unique tokens, 71. So he had a good amount of trades in there. So he bought at least 71 times. But this one looks interesting in comparison to the last one, because we can see, okay, we can go over this again, but we can see, 17 tokens, he's ending up in losses over 50%. So this is directly affecting his win rate. You can see quite a bit higher than the other guy. And then 21% of his tokens are losses that are under 50%. And then we have under 2x, 35%, that's his meat. That's his meat and potatoes that is saving his win rate. And then eight tokens that were in between the 2x and 5x mark. And then we have 4 tokens that mooned, that went over 5x. Now, like, for me, this wallet wouldn't be typically like that interesting for me, because his win rate's getting close to like 50%, and that's kind of far off from what I'm looking for. But again, he's making good profit here. Looking at some of his tokens, we can see that the buys are pretty much with the sells. So again, if it was a strategy for you, you like guys that just bought once and sold once, and you don't want to worry about like a lot of gas being used, this might be someone good to follow. I mean, in terms of someone who is scaling out, if you want someone who scales out, not too heavy, like again 5 or 10 times over it, you can see based on his buys and sells that he's going to be in that range of scaling out. Usually he'll sell in 1 go, or he'll sell in 2 goes.
Sorry, I just had a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry to cut you off there.
No, it's okay, man.
Yeah, in terms of looking at the flags, what do you personally look for that would sort of ring a bell in terms of your judgment of the actual wallet, personally, for yourself?
So the percentages are really good to look at, because that's going to indicate like how much this actually truly affects this trader's whole ROI and win rate that they got there. So this guy is pretty low percentages. So if this checked out for me, which personally it just doesn't, I just wouldn't want to, just based on those statistics, like the win rate's close to like even, and the ROI's just close to double on a trade. Obviously you can make money following him, but it's just not a wallet that I would particularly choose to add to my roster there. But yeah, just looking at the flags, you just want things to be to a minimal, right? Like all my guys, I'd say 50% of my guys have flags, but like it'd be like one time it said he sniped a token, or one time his first trade was a sell, or 2 times his first trade was a sell. But he also has lots of trading history, makes a lot of trades in a day, so those percents work out to be lower. So that is what you want to look at for the flags. You don't want to dismiss a wallet ever because of flags, because it could be a wallet that could make you a lot of money. But if you don't really learn how to analyze these flags and kind of look at the percentage and be like, okay, 3% here, so didn't buy tokens, 3%, first trade was a sell, it's going up to 4%. But again, if you didn't buy tokens, obviously the first trade is going to be a sell. So this is kind of reflective of that. So it's not like the same as having I would say like a double flag, because this flag, both these flags have an impact towards each other, and so does this flag. Sold more tokens than bought, but again, they're all relatively low. So if it was something that looked a little bit more appealing to me here, between the ROI and win rate, the profit's good. the profit's good. But if it was just something that, I just don't want to take, that much loss, 54% of the time. That leaves me 46% of the time I'm taking losses.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So at that point in time, we pretty much went through this one pretty well. And again, it has profit here. Clearly over the 30 days, he's making profit, but you would have to use your own judgment. If when throwing on scalpers, throw it on relatively low. With relatively low gas, you usually don't need so much gas for scalpers, but look at how his trades go. Like when he does buy, like is there quite a bit of spike after that, and then you can kind of make that relative to you. But everyone, it has a different style of copy trading, and I think down the line I will add more wallets that look like this. This wallet to me looks a lot better, 60% win rate, still around the same ROI. Would I like to see it a little bit higher? Sure, but this guy's he's making money. This guy's making money too as well. But, just for my strategy that I currently have in place, it's not something that I would really look at right now. But like I said, down the line, I'll probably add some of these wallets that I know are going to be taking losses. But as long as, I run them in over a course of 3 days, 4 days between their trades, maybe even 1 or 2 days if I'm impatient. I look, it's at profit. I'm like, okay, I know I can run this guy for the course of the month and I should still be at profit. I want to find a different type of token that's a little bit farther off from what we were looking at.
Amiri, when you set low for these types of traders that take lots of trades, scalpers, the low fees, did you mean like low slippage for that?
So
what do you mean by
so slippage matters, but it isn't like an end all be all, because if you set a trader up and you're getting in with higher slippage, but it's not taking all that slippage, so you have it set at 70 or 80 and it's only using lower slippage, then that shouldn't be the end all be all. But I'm talking more so like gas, because some of you guys have came to me in DMs and are showing me trades where you are this gentleman who showed me a trade where he's entering in with 0.1 and his gas is at 0.025. Now, what happens on that trade right off of the back, if he needs to buy it, it's going to cost a quarter of his 0.1. And if he needs to sell it, it's going to cost a quarter of his 0.1. So if that trader only made a 50% profit, it's great. He made a 50% profit, but his gas literally ate his entire profit. Do you see what I'm saying there? It has to be relative. There is times I was using 0.025 gas, and I've been using that up until recently. And then today I looked at it, and I'm like, man, this is around $5 that I'm using in and out of trades. And I just had a guy who scaled out yesterday. I had 2 guys who scaled out yesterday. One scaled out 5 times, the other scaled out 10 times. If someone scaled out 10 times on my trade, I lost $50 on that trade. I made a lot on that trade. I'm not complaining. But at the same time, I could have got $50 more if my gas was just not cranked up so high. And I need to see if it's even worth cranking up that high, because I just traded a token copy traded a token this morning with my partner. So again, I told you, me and my friend, we just trade the same tokens. We work together, we find the same wallets, and we're trading the same tokens, right? We also come up with strategies together. But I had my gas at 0.025 and he had his gas at 0.015, and his buy got off significantly like before mine. He got a better entry than me, and I was paying more gas. On my sell, I got out before him with the gas that I had, the 0.025 versus his 0.15, but he made more profits on the trade. And I made less profits even on the trade because my gas was so high. So it is important to be considerate of what you're setting your gas at. Again, that guy who had his gas at 0.025 when his buy position is 0.1, you need to get at least a 50% gain just to break even. It just doesn't make sense to crank your gas up that high when you're buying with such low amounts in any means. So I was referring to the gas more than the slippage.
So your gas slippage would completely depend on the amount you're trading and how volatile, I guess, the trader you're copying, I'm guessing. Am I right? Or
Yeah, essentially. I mean, if your trader is going in for things like on the first dip and stuff, and you know, like they're getting like there's a lot of volume usually before your trader, like having quicker gas can help you. But I'm finding that like having excessive gas doesn't always mean that you're going to have a better entry. Based on what I was telling you with me and my friend, I had 0.025, he had 0.015, and he still got a better entry. And yes, it does have to be in accordance to how much you're using, because it has to make sense. And especially if you know that the guy you're following is going to sell 10 times before he goes out, so you know you're going to sell 10 times. Again, with my gas at 0.025, it's around $5. That works out to be around $50 over 10 sells, right? So you do want to be mindful to how your gas is affecting your profits. Now, if you're going in with, you know, one soul and you're making, you know, even just 100%, you're making a 2x on that one soul. You know, you use whatever, you use 0.025, you use 0.02, and you're losing $10 on the trade in gas, but you still just made $160, but you're walking away effectively with $150 of profit because of your gas.
understood. And let's say if I were just trading in extremely small amounts, like the example you gave me, like 0.2 sol, do you think that running the standard gas and sell gas and slippage that Trojan comes with is good enough? Because I'm probably going to go with wallets that aren't trading as often.
You know what? I would play around with it, because if you're getting, you know, good entries and your gas is lower and your transactions still going through pretty quickly, and you're using something like, I don't know what Trojan recommends, but I think it's like 0.0015, isn't it? Like for their
It's 0.075 for both the buy and the sell, and the slippage comes at 15% standard.
0.0075.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's decent gas to use. I mean, in certain instances, like you said, you're going to be trading guys that don't have like a ton of volume coming in after them, so you're not really, you know, worried about not getting a great entry. But if you are down the road and you're trading a larger amount, you may want to increase that to see how your entries are, right? Like if you're getting in a lot closer to your target when you increased it, it may be worth it. But again, not when you're playing with such little amounts. I think where you're at right now, the point, your 0.2 initial buys with a 0.0075, you should be fine. And if you're finding that you want to play around with it, maybe just increase it to 0.0085, because at least then you're trading a little bit higher than Trojan's typical traders would be.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a smart idea. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Did anybody have any more questions before we move on?
Yeah, if you copy trade someone, can you like adjust the settings for each individual copy, or
Oh,
is it the
do you
same for
mean
everyone?
do you mean like settings such as like gas and stuff?
Yeah, like the percentages that you buy and sell at, is that the same for every copy?
Slippage, you definitely can. And on when you go to add a copy trader on Trojan, it says buy gas and sell gas, that you can edit it for them. I don't know if this is for everyone, but it's definitely for me that it doesn't matter what I set that to. It always uses the initial gas that I put in priority. Like when I set it up, it uses that gas. And it applies it to all of my transactions. So right now, I told you that I was using 0.025. Today, I'm like, I saw my friend's entry, so I'm like, I'm going to reduce. And I reduced it to 0.015 in my main settings, and I've had trades go off, and I didn't change them for the individual trader, so it's still set at 0.025. But I look at my Sol scan, everything's going off for 0.015. So I would like to say they want to be able to make it so you can change gas for every trader, but right now it's just using like your priority set gas.
And apart from the gas, because before you said you copied like a certain wallet for 1.3x and another maybe like half of what he buys, can you like decide that for each wallet that you copy individually?
Could you repeat that? I couldn't quite understand what you were trying to get through. Sorry.
Yeah, so before a while ago you were telling me about wallets you copied, or maybe not you, but you can copy, for example, a guy that uses like half a sol and you want to buy for one, you put them at the like 2x the buy-in or whatever
Oh yeah, so you can adjust all that. So you can adjust slippage. You can also adjust.
individually.
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
want to go in with his same buy amount, like you just would do 100%, right? So if he buys 0.5, it will buy 0.5. If he buys 0.6, it'll buy 0.6. If you can look at his transactions and you can see his buys don't go over a sol, like one sol, and you're comfortable with that, like up to whatever he wants to buy, then you can do that. But you could also, again, do half of that. So whatever he buys, you can buy 50% of that, or you could double it. Whatever he buys, you buy 200% of it. You can adjust all that. Yeah. Per
Oh,
trader
okay.
too.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. And again, if anyone has any questions, let me know. If not, we're going to move on. Perfect. All right. So that's good, because that question kind of leads me into the next point of how to use your trading bot, because I see a lot of people having issues with it. The most common issue that I have is just slippage. Like people just, and I got to reiterate it almost every call, I feel that slippage is something that is quite important for me to bring up, because a lot of people are missing out on good trades just because they don't have their slippage. But does everyone feel 100% comfortable with their bot and how to operate it? I'm going to assume yes if I don't have anyone popping up here, because I was going to go through and show you guys like on screen how to use Trojan. I actually just got Trojan up here, but if you guys are, pretty competent in it, I mean, it does have a really great layout. Like I said, most of the issues are coming down to slippage that I have seen. But if you guys are feeling like pretty good about that, then I'm not going to go through this, because I don't want to make bad use out of our time. Okay, so
if it's okay for everyone else, would you mind going through it? If it's okay for everyone else.
yeah, for sure. And I assume I assume it's okay for everyone else. We're all at different levels here. So if we need to go through something that's a little bit more beginner, for someone who needs to go through it, it's totally fine, because even though we may be a little bit further ahead, it's always good to have a refresher, and maybe you see something that you wouldn't see before. So the first thing that I am going to look at here is go into my settings, and then I am going to look at, this is one thing that people have been asking about a lot, and I don't know if everyone has done it effectively. So this is the same layout you're going to have when you look at your Trojan, regardless if you pull it up on a computer or if you pull it up in your phone. So you notice I didn't go to copy trade first. I actually went to settings first. And the reason I did this is because a lot of people are wanting to learn how to do different strategies and take profits on their sells automatically and have their bots do that for them. So where you actually go for, it's not under the copy trade, but then we'll go back to the copy trade so I can show you how it's applied. But we will go to auto sell here. And it says example negative example 25% slippage or sell with 4 take profit targets, and it gives you an example of something that you could do. So it's saying once you reach 100%, you want to sell 25% of your wallet, the 25% of your holdings. So let's just do add to order, and slippage, I'm going to do like, I don't know, I'm going to do quite high, because sometimes it just reaches there and then everyone starts to sell. So I'm going to do around 60. And then also take profit. And this is the percent you're going to do. I'm just going to show you what I do for mine. And everyone has a different strategy, and you got to find a strategy that works for you. But I only have one set up, and it is set up right now at 250%. But you may want to take profits when it hits 50%. You may want to take profits when it hits 100%. So, you know, you just put it in there, what your take profit that is comfortable for you in the strategy you've come up with. And then amount, it's going to be done in percentage as well. And as I mentioned before, it is going to be in percentage. Okay, so I have it here, and I can press add to order. And I have this set up now, and I can go through and set up another one, but that's a little bit redundant. So I'm not going to do it just for sake of our time, but I'm going to go back here. And now this is when I am going to go into the copy trade menu. I don't have any copy traders because I'm on a different account, but let's say and I'm going to call him Gray, and back to, do I have a here? So let me go to wallets. I'll go here. For just showing a wallet here, showing you guys how to do it. For wallet, and then by percentage. Okay, so right here is where by percentage on copy sales page. 5%, 100%. Okay, that's fine. Buy gas, buy, sell gas, slippage. Okay, so when you have it in this section, maybe because I don't have anything actually active on this wallet or something, it will usually say auto sell. So if you guys look into your section right here, underneath your traders. Every time you add a trader, it will say auto sell. And then you're just going to click auto sell, and that is going to allow that strategy that you set up to be able to run through your bot. So that was the bigger point that I wanted to go over. I think everyone is pretty comfortable with adding in copy traders. You saw how I just did it, and you can always revisit it here. I'll go back to this again for my buy percentage. Let's say he was buying 1, so I'm comfortable with that. I keep it at 100%. Say I'm not really comfortable with that, and I want to only buy half of what he's buying, or 25% of what he's buying. Say I was just testing him out. You can just, do 50% here. When you see copy sells, majority of you guys will want to have this on because you trust your traders, you trust their ROIs, and you will want to copy their sells. But there could be some traders that, are getting into projects like very early and they're getting great entries, but then they're selling way too soon all the time. If you get into that instance and you don't want to copy their sells, you can just select this and it will not copy their sells. The buy gas, so Trojan has it automatically set at 0.0015. We were talking, I don't remember exactly who it was, but said that theirs was set up at 0.0075. I've never ran on 0.0015. I have ran on 0.0075 and it was fine. I think 0.0015 is low when a lot of people are using 0.0075 and up. So that's something to be mindful of. But if you're only trading with small amounts and there's not a huge spike of volume before you're getting in, this is something that you may go for because it makes sense with how small of an amount you're trading at that time. And as you grow and increase, you can go on to trade more. Did anyone have questions about any of that?
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, so the rest of it's pretty basic, and I mean, you guys definitely can figure it out for yourself, already have, and if you haven't, you can always message me, and then we'll go through that. So again, that's the second thing that I would do if I was a new user. I would want to make sure first that I figured out Zelfi Guru and their bot and how to use it. We already went over that. Secondly, I want to make sure I know how to use my trading bot well. So I know how to set it up. So if I want to take profits, it can, and all of that stuff. I need to know how to add a copy trader, because if I add a copy trader and I, enter in the wrong thing, maybe as the trade goes off and I don't get in because I didn't know how to do that. So of course, those are all things that are important. So that was my second point that I had. My next point was how to find profitable wallets. So after I learned how to use Zelfi Guru's bot and ecosystem, mainly that the bot is like the powerhouse behind this ecosystem. So that's the first thing I'd want to learn to use. Then I'd want to learn to use my trading bot, and then how to find profitable wallets. So we were already in the profitable wallet section. And I know you guys can still see the screen, so I'll just go back there for a second. And just one moment. Okay, so we started going through some, and we could see the potential in just, we went over two, but we could see and mainly we were going over to make sure we had a fully understanding. By the time we had a full understanding, we were able to go through the second one a lot quicker because we knew what we were looking at. And as you get better, and as you see these flags more, and as you see more and more wallets, you're just going to be able to get through them a lot quicker, right? So if 200 wallets are posted through, maybe today it takes you a full hour to get through them. By the time that you took that full, hour to get through them, you go to it tomorrow and say there's 200 wallets again, maybe even 230 wallets, you're going to get through it in half the time, because you're going to quickly be able to look, yeah, this guy doesn't have enough history for me. I don't want to trade something like that, or, this guy has too many flags. You're just going to know how to better make use out of your time here. And as I say, always, the reason the profitable wallets are nice is because they have been picked out. They have been kind of pushed through when it fits a criteria. So you're getting wallets that are higher quality wallets, and you're going to find searching out on your own easily pushed out to you. They're all here. You can look through them. Again, as you start looking through them, you're going to get better at doing so. I'm just looking at this wallet here. But yeah, you're going to get better at doing so, and you're going to be able to fly through these more quickly, right? You're going to be able to look, okay, the profit for this wallet was 2 SOL over the 30 days trading. It looks like he's taking a lot of gaps. He has, a decent amount of flags. His win rate's 81%, so his win rate's quite high. But we know that the flags can encounter into it, and his ROI is about 50%. So, seeing this win rate being a little bit higher, even with the flags can probably knock that down. But again, he does, and it's better to look at percentages because a wallet like this is completely different than the wallets that we were looking at when we started. That had only the other wallets were having close to 100 200 unique trades, and this wallet here, as far as unique trades goes, has only 16. So, when you're looking at bigger data sets, it doesn't mean like you can't copy a wallet that just has low data sets like this. But again, he's only made 2 SOL. His gains are looking like 0.1 SOL, 0.2 SOL. He had one day where it was 1.7, but that really skewed the average. And, you can, as you start looking at these numbers, as you start looking at the flags, as you start kind of dialing in your strategy, figure out kind of what wallets you're looking for, what kind of win rate do you feel, is comfortable, you can get through these a lot quicker. So we're going to save some of this because to go through all these wallets, it's just going to take, quite a bit of time. And for the sake of time and going through everything that I want to go through, I think you guys have a pretty good idea of how you can do this yourself, and we will continue on our calls to go through other wallets. So even if you're not doing it so much yourself and you don't have time, I don't know, you guys could have full-time jobs and you really don't have time, so most of the time you get like analyzing and getting to know these wallets are done through these voice chats. Just know that coming into tomorrow's voice chat, we're going to start with profitable wallets as well. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Yeah, quick question about these wallets that get posted daily, because I hear many people say you can't copy sniper, you can't copy scalping. So do we just give all of these tagged wallets, or is there a way that we can utilize them?
So it's good to know what's true and what's false, because one thing that you said was true and the second thing you said was false. So you can't directly copy a sniper wallet. The reason sniper wallets are still included is because they can be useful. If you find a sniper wallet, and a lot of these sniper wallets have very high win rates and high ROIs, you can use a tracker to kind of follow that wallet, see when it's entering into something, and then use it as a strategy to enter in at the dip, because he usually does a lot more ROI than this on it. So even if you enter here, you're not going to get the same ROI as the sniper, but you still might make, a 2x, a 3x, a 4x, a 5x, right? So that is the potential for snipers and why they're still included in the list. Although you can't directly copy them, you can have a strategy around them. And then as to the second point for scalpers, That's just not true. Scalpers are very different how they do it, but scalpers usually have a large amount of trades. Their trading style is they're getting in it and out, sometimes quickly, but you could see that guy who had the 6-hour holding time sometimes over a longer period. And they're looking for usually lower ROIs. They'll take they'll often take a smaller gain than your regular traders. So scalpers are the ones that, when you're looking at a scalper, you want to look at the statistics for if that scalper is going to work for you. Because if we find a scalper, for example, that is in and out of a trade very quickly, say they enter trades and they're in and out of trades within 10 seconds, like they're sniping bottoms of dips, and then it goes up 30%, 40%, and then they're out. That's definitely something you should avoid, because it can be hard for your bot to keep up with that, and hard to maintain any profits when something's done that quickly. So that's where people say scalpers aren't copyable, because there is some scalpers who are just trading way too quickly. But if a scalper is holding for 5 minutes and plus, and even 3-4 minutes plus, that could still be a great wallet for you to follow, depending on the ROI and the win rate there.
So you kind of have to investigate them more. Okay.
Well, you have to invest everything more, no matter what you see, because some of these guys get multiple tags. They'll get scalper and snipers. So you want to figure what's going on. It's they might have a sniper tag, and they might scalp some of the time. So you could follow some of their scalps. That they're snipes. If you put it on, it's not even going to go off anyways. So the scalping that they do might be profitable for you, but you're not going to get that ROI that they get on their snipes, right? So every wallet that you see, you'll get better at knowing what to look for. But knowing what to look for is stuff like this. We come to this section is average buy sum. Does that fall into something that you are looking to copy? Average hold time. That's something that you want to look for. So you'll get quicker at knowing, okay, I look for average time between buy and sell, because that's important to me. I don't want to trade someone who's just in and out. And I'm looking at their buy sum, because that's something important to me. I don't want to trade someone who's trading such large amounts that might have a big price impact. Obviously, these things I would say are the most important to look at. But for example, the flags are important. This wallet here doesn't have any flags at all. What is it sitting at? 51% ROI with a 60% win rate. No flags, but he has 40% losses.
I was very curious how you are gonna how you're gonna do this tomorrow. So yeah, I'll just wait for tomorrow to see, I guess. Because I tried it myself, but I tried to buy the dip with alerts and stuff, right? But then after I buy the dip, it goes even deeper. So,
for the sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
personally, okay, it's a strategy that is stated, and that's why snipers are included, because it does work for some people. Personally, I never have ever followed a sniper in that strategy, and it's just because it's not a strategy that works for me. I prefer to put a wallet in and wait for them to go off. I don't want to have to I'm trying to make this as passive as I can.
Yeah.
I want to be able to grind for a couple hours, find some good wallets, throw them in. When they go and buy, they buy, and then when they sell, they sell. Maybe might take profit hit, maybe it didn't. Maybe I won a hit on it, made money. Maybe I lost, but that sniper strategy is something that could be good to use, but you have to be a person who's willing to put in that extra time, because it's not as easy as if you just find a really solid wallet.
Yeah, I kind of gave up at the end, but then I tried with buying the dip and like taking 20%, and that was kind of okay. But yeah,
Kind of gave up in the end, buying the dips, taking 20%. Yeah, I mean, sometimes like it's not worth it. I don't know like how much you bought
yeah,
on that with, but like if you're making 20%, it's like all this work. It's like maybe
no,
another
exactly.
strategy works better for you. So the reason there's scalper wallets, the reason that there's wallets with no tags is because it gives you an idea of how this wallet moves and how you could utilize the wallet. But every wallet, even though it may have a tag, like I said, is going to be a little bit different.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So my last thing that I wanted to go through is, okay, so we're still in how to find profitable wallets, and I'm going to open up a new page here. Can you guys see what I'm looking at?
No, the same
No.
selfie guru.
You can't now. Interesting. That is so weird. So when I flip pages, I'm just wondering. Okay, one sec. Screen.
Hi, I just found a wallet seems interesting. Could you like look at it?
Yeah, for sure. You can DM me.
Uh, just a second. What's your name?
Amiri.
Oh, okay. Send message.
Yeah. Feel free. You said you sent the message.
Yeah, I sent it.
All right. Are you?
Zimbalala.
Well, I'm sharing my screen right now. Are you comfortable with everyone seeing it, or do you prefer for me to take my screen share down for now?
No, just let everyone see it.
Okay. So you guys can still see the main screen that I was sharing with you at Profitable Wallets, right?
No,
No, we can't see it.
it shows the participation list now. Now it's back.
Okay, now it's back. It's so weird because I wanted to go over Deck Screener with you guys and show you how like I look on Deck Screener. But
Maybe you're capturing the app Telegram, and maybe you have to.
yeah, the issue is when I go over to Google Chrome and I go over to Deck Screener, I can't pull up the Telegram thing in front of it. And then when I go to screen, see that I just took down the screen, but okay, I'll try again too. I don't know why it's not letting me access everything. Oh, okay, perfect. I figured it out. I told you guys there's going to be a little bit of it'll be a rocky start because this is my first time ever sharing my screen, but I think after today it's going to be smooth sailing. Later. Okay, now let's see if I can share with you this. Okay, first this gentleman wants me to check the wallet, so let me do that for him. I'm curious, is it going to let me do that now? Huh. I allowed access and it's still not letting me do it now. That's annoying. All right, anyways, I'm going to check out this wallet. I'm going to put up my screen again so you guys can see what's going on with this wallet. All right. Sorry, I got caught up reading a message from Serge in the general chat. Let's see. So, the Zimbalala. Did I pronounce that correct?
It's Zimbalala.
Zimbalala?
Yeah. Just
Nice.
random word. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I still like to try to get close, right? If that's your identity right now, that's what we're rocking with. Okay, so you sent me this. I'm going to pull it up here. You're not going to be able to see this because it's not sharing my screen. What I'm going to do tomorrow, guys, is I'm going to play around with this like screen sharing, and I'm going to like do it to myself, like on my other account. So I'm going to get all dialed in. Sorry if today was a little bit rocky. I did do my best, and I'll get better from here.
No worries, man.
Okay, so we're back, and you should be able to see that screen now. I'm going to the bot to paste the address. If you guys have any other wallets you want me to check just to go over, just to have my opinion, I'm cool with doing that. While we do this, like, it should be research for all of you guys to learn kind of what you're looking at when you're looking at these wallets. Hopefully this goes through. There was a little bit of a delay before, as you can see, with the increased load that was going on. So hopefully we can do this. If not, I think we had a pretty good day. Did you guys learn a lot? Did you find today productive? Did you find the other voice chats helpful? I'm just curious to how you feel like they're going, and if there's anything that you would like to see in future voice chats, because again, we're going to be having them every day now. So, you know, it can get a little bit redundant with copy trading because like I'm going over things that I've already gone over before. But at the same time, there's probably other learning points that you guys want to like really touch on. And it might be like, you know, dex screener hunting. It might be, you know, maybe something else I'm just not thinking of. But if you guys have any ideas, you could always drop them to me, and it would actually be helpful because when I hop on the voice chat the next day, I'll probably take some of your guys' ideas and run with them.
I thought it was very productive. A lot of useful information.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you so much for your feedback. I always want to know because at the end of the day, I'm spending my time with you guys, but you guys are spending your time with me. And I want to make sure if you spend an hour with me or 2 hours with me, you're like, you get off of here and you're like, damn, that was a well spent time, you know? I just want you guys to feel like you got more value out than the time that you put in.
No, that was definitely useful, man. Definitely for beginners too, and me too. Like, I'm in this group. Like, I paid for it like a few weeks ago, but still, I copy traded one, and I instantly put it on deactivate because I'm just too scared to really get into it, you know. So I think over time, with you guys together, maybe I'll get over that fear, you know.
Yeah, dude,
So that's awesome.
you definitely should, because like I had such a hard experience with copy trading before Zelfi Guru. My friend recommended it, and then I started just like copy trading with him. He was like teaching me some stuff. So like now he's my partner. Like we just copy trade with each other every day, and like it's such a daunting task if it's not broken down on how to use everything and how to like actually find wallets and actually be successful with it. But once it's broken down, and I hope today I broke it down pretty simple, because my goal of today was to pretend like I was a new person and what I would do if I was a new person, learning how to use Zelfi Guru and the other things that come with copy trading. But more so, I'm going to keep on saying this because I think it's like so important, because I think I would have given up many times if it wasn't for having my friend direct me not only to here and giving me this tool, but some days it is just such a grind. You're spending hours and you're having a hard time finding wallets, or you're losing on wallets you thought were good. And like, if you don't have a friend with you to kind of be like, we got to change up strategies, maybe we shouldn't follow this wallet anymore, like, you know, like a second pair of eyes, it can be quite hard. So it's something that I'm going to keep on bringing up, because I hope like some of you just like will message each other that are here and be like, yo, do you want to be like my accountability partner? We'll share wallets, we'll work together, you know? And I hope that works out. But I think down the road, I'm actually going to like talk to the team and see if I can do like copy trader matchmaking. See what levels people are
That would be
at,
dope.
and kind of match people with people that are at similar levels, so they can just start where they are and just grow with each other.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man.
I will talk about it. I can't promise anything. I can have some ideas sometimes, and it may not be the total vision that they're going in, but I'm going to bring this one up. I think it's a pretty good one, and if they're down for it, I can figure out a format, maybe just like a Google Doc that kind of gives me a basic idea of your experience and like what you're looking for a partner, like what you're good at and stuff like that. It'll be like literally like maybe 4 or 5 questions to fill out, but then all that information will go to me, and then I can start matching people together who look like they'd be good fits.
Yeah, what also would be useful, I think, because I tried making it myself, like an Excel sheet, and you put the TPs in and the percentages, and it calculates but I'm not that good with Excel, so if it could actually put in the price, like if you select in a tab Sol or this or Ethereum, it calculates actual prices and the actual ROI, because now I have, like, for example, one token is 100 or something, like something general, and it's not that, but it would be nice to like make something together like that, maybe like an actual data sheet that you can test stuff with.
Man, I mean, there is tons of stuff out there for making like data sheets and being able to condense information and stuff, and like it's just you do have to find someone. Like, if you don't have that skill, you need to find someone who does, like, and maybe that's who you need to be matched with, like someone who can make this stuff and you give them the ideas of how to bring it to life.
Yeah,
because that's essentially what me and my partner did. Like, all the things that we have that we've created, it's like, I don't want to say he did it all, but like, he knows how to code. I don't know how to code. But I had, the ideas, we're working on them, testing it together. Like, I was with him every step of the way, but I didn't have the experience to bring something to life that would help me like look through things easier. And he did. So like, yeah, I just encourage you guys to continue to collaborate with each other, regardless if it's, directly and you find yourself a partner, or you do it in the main group. It's like, that's what's going to really help you guys win. Okay, I'm going to look at this wallet quickly, and then we can get back to talking. So this wallet has pretty decent amount of, looks like it has quite a few trades, but it looks like it's all within this day. I'm going to see if that's true.
Yeah, it's today only. I think he created the account today.
It is today only. Okay. I went to click on Chrome again, and it totally messed things up. All right. You guys can still see the screen though, right?
It's like a fog over it or something, or maybe that's just me.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm seeing too. I went to click on the link to take me to SoulScan, and just fogging up, and it's frozen now. I mean, I can't click anything, but I can do my best to go through this. I don't even think I could highlight it right now. Let me see. No, I can't highlight anything. But I'm not running an ancient computer either. I'm running like a pretty powerful desktop Mac here that I got a couple years ago, so it should be running fine. But whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to Telegram as well, but like I know like maybe that's an alternative. Like make a Discord just for these calls, and you can like select the screen, the specific app or whatever you want to share, and you can switch between it easily on Discord. But yeah,
Discord might be easier for me. The thing is, I just never really had to share my screen before. Like, I'm very vocal in my presentation way. But like in this case, looking through data and stuff, like, it really helps if I can share the screen and go through the data with you and kind of show you what I see when I see it. So this is how we're going to do it from now on. Hopefully we don't get the fog screen next time. All right, so let's go over this wallet. I know the screen's a little foggy, but you should be able to make out the numbers. It's pretty simple to see. It's a today trading only wallet, so it does not have a lot of history. The profit on it is 1.84 Sol, with an ROI of 273.51 and a win rate of 66.7%. There was one time it sniped, which resulted in 16.67 percentage. So like that wouldn't be something that completely threw me off from it. I have a feeling that although it's showing one time that it sniped, that it might have had earlier entries more than that. Their average buy is with 0.11. So like this is something that I would follow if it looked good. And it looks okay, but now I'm looking at like the average buy and sell time. It's only a minute. So for me, I know that he is getting in early because 2 of his 6 trades were, mooners, 5x plus. He also has a couple trades under 2x and a couple losses. I mean, it's an all right wallet to trade by the looks of it. I just really don't like that average buy and sell time. But with the amount of ROI that he's getting, if you use decent gas, you up your slippage, give it a try. But you can see on his last trade, it was a 7.42. Like that would be a great trade to have him on, of course. His one under that is 1.47. So again, pretty good gains on that. 0.9 on the one under that. So he took a loss there. And then just a small gain on some Pump Fund token. I know you guys probably all heard the news about Pump Fund. 0.97 and 10.57. I mean, right
What
now.
news?
What's
It
that?
died. Pump Fund died, right?
Yeah, essentially it is dead. Man, and it's good. More liquidity will come to the Sol market instead of being on that, like, I'm not gonna say scamish website, but dude, everyone's there to just like scam. As soon as it's gonna hit Radium, dump their bags. Dev sold and 15% gone. It's like, man, I hated being on Pump Fund. Don't know why I even tried it. I guess all the kids were doing it, so I'm thinking I'll give it a shot. Man, I swear to God, I was on there for an hour. When I got off, I felt 5 years older. I'm like, shit, my back hurts. Like, I can't think straight. It was terrible, man. So overall, you wanted me to go through this wallet and analyze it. So like so far, it's looking good as far as the statistics go. I wish I could open it up to see the entries, but as you can see, like my screen's literally frozen. I can't even. I don't even know if you can see my mouse moving around, but I can't highlight anything. You know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to update literally everything because it asked me to close Telegram before I started sharing my screen. And I was already on the voice chat, so I'm like, I can't really close Telegram. So I'm just going to attempt to see if it shared the screen, but I think that's the issue. And it also told me, it told me to close Google before sharing it too.
The fuck?
Yeah. But I would see like where this guy's buying and seeing if like the buys you could probably get in with. If you are going to put this guy on, I would test him very small. He doesn't have a lot of history, although his current history is pretty decent. I would just test him like small to start off and make sure like you're still in profit. Like if you're testing it small, you don't want to just test it small just to like take small losses if he takes a gain. Yeah, but it looks like an okay wallet. It doesn't look like anything crazy special. But I mean the ROI is good on it. The profit is good for the buy amounts that he's doing for sure. If he's doing all this in one day, he may be someone to keep an eye on if his trades are copyable. I wish I could look into more right now. I am going to try to close Google Chrome. Do you guys have any more questions? Sweet. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to give it one last punt with the Google Chrome so we can go through a DEX screener page together. If it works, great. If not, I'll have it sorted for next time. All right, so if I go to here, screen. Yeah, you know what? We're hitting the 2-hour mark. I'm not able to get it up. I'll figure it out for tomorrow. I'll do some testing on it. So tomorrow we can not only look through the profitable wallets. I know some of you guys want to go over those more. So we'll spend time looking at profitable wallets for maybe 30 minutes or so. And then we'll spend like another 30 minutes or so on DEX Screener, depending how much value you guys are getting out of searching through DEX Screener. I don't know if you guys know how to do it easily or if it's something that will be valuable to you, but we'll see how it goes. We'll start doing it and we'll see how you guys like it.
For tomorrow, it would be very interesting. Also, like I know there's like reg check stuff and like, but is there like a certain way, like maybe checking the code or a way to know it's legit and a fair launch? That would be interesting too.
So are you like looking for ideas on mostly like entering in tokens yourself? Like if you want to buy a token yourself and want to make sure it's safe prior to buying it?
Yeah, because for example, I follow this guy on Twitter, right? Like this crash shit guy. Yeah, he's like chilling bread and like, oh, it's going to go up to 30 bill maybe, you know. And like guys like this, like if you want to call, like check if they're like if the coin is even legit, like because especially like on Solana, you can it's okay, like you have rug check and the token Sol scan, you like it's pretty decent scans, but for base, for example, or ton, I don't know how to check those coins.
Yeah, so let's see if we can gather some of that info. Like I'm not huge right now on base and ton, but like I came from Ethereum. I used BSC a bit. Now I'm primarily like on Solana, so like I'm definitely not like a one chain maxi type deal, you know. So I can look further into these chains for you. I have some friends that are already on those chains, so see if they have any idea. But yeah, I could definitely look into that.
You said you came from Ether, right? So I know there's Etherscan. If you find the address, okay, you find the code and everything, but like, how do you know? You know?
Like, how do you know on ETH if a contract's safe?
Yeah. Did you check it on Etherscan or like the other reg check scans for Ether, for example?
There's a lot of scanners. Yeah, like TTF bot works for both ETH and works for Solana. Rick bot works for both ETH and works for Solana. I think works for some other chains too. So what you do in this instance is like you just add these bots to a group that you create yourself. So you'll have like, for example, TTF and Rickbot in a group. So when you paste a contract, it will give you the safety on it, but you'll get two different sources. So you'll be able to like get more validity, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like I checked this coin in the TTF bot. I found like a while ago as well, right? So it like makes it like it recreates it kind of or something. But how can a coin that has like plus 1 mil market cap and it says possible honeypot and it's like how is it possible that so many people buy that stuff?
It can be super inaccurate when you get something like a possible honeypot. There's different things that like can flag that based on how a contract is set up, and even when they renounce the contract and it's actually safe, like it will get that result sometimes in certain bots. Like TTF will give you sometimes false results. They all sometimes give false results because it's all like, you know, they're looking for specific things, and if it doesn't meet those parameters, it may spit out a false result. But most of the times, like when I see the result and it's like, you know, it is a honeypot, like, and it's not saying possible, I'm just gonna stay away from that because I trust it more than my idea.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but definitely good to be using more than one tool. That's why I said have at least 2 tools in a room. So like you get the validity by having 2 tools that spit out similar information telling you it's safe or it's not safe, right?
Yeah, for Solana, I use a Soul Scan and that rug check. But sometimes by the time the dip has come and you checked it, it's already passed. That's crazy.
For Solana, I still use TTF and Rickbot, but I hardly buy stuff anymore. Like I don't. It's actually one of my rules that like I don't trade unless I have like some type of information from a friend or something about getting into a coin. But if it's not that way, I just lost so much money trading myself with these meme coins because like, dude, it's hard to know unless you know. Like if you have the insider information, obviously you know that it's going to do well, it's going to be pushed and all that stuff. But like coins can come out and they can look good, the visuals look good, name seems good. You're like, oh, this should moon. Rugs. The stupidest coin comes out, it has a stupid name, bad graphics, whatever. It just looks so bad, and it like moons like, you know, 20, 30x. And you're like, what's going on here? But it's really about knowing, and that's why I prefer copy trading because I can just like copy the guys who do know. Because obviously with their win rates, they know. Because when I was trading, my win rates were like not like theirs. You know, I was losing a lot more than I was winning.
Yeah, bro. That's why I was about to give up, man. Maybe I should give copy trading a chance again. Yeah.
Bro, that's literally what really inspired me to do copy trading. If it wasn't for my friend, because he was losing money too, and we're just like, man, like this is getting to be a lot. And then we're taking money from the bank and we're putting it into crypto. It should be crypto into the bank. Like, then we were like, okay, like we're gonna go full on in copy trading, and then it started off like a little bit slow, like. I dabbled into it a bit before him, but when I started with him, like things just were progressing so quick. And like whenever I felt like a little bit discouraged or like not wanting to grind as hard, like he'd be grinding. So like I felt like I had to grind. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna let him work and like bring me results, and I'm not working and bringing him results. So that's why I say having an accountability partner for crypto in general. I've always had accountability partners for tokens. Most of the tokens I would enter with friends. And we'd like make decisions on it when we were going to sell and how much we are going to sell. We're trying to like be as logical and helpful to each other as you can. But a lot of people here in crypto are doing it solo, and it's just not the way to do it. Like you need to have some friends, like who are on the same page, who are grinding, who are helping you, who care about you and want to see you win and shit. So
yeah, because so far I got the feeling like there's some groups like VCs, devs, and they make all the money. Like crazy.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. I mean, devs gotta eat, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's crypto for you. I've been in it for 5 years now. I've done super well for myself. Starting off, and then I had some down periods in the bear where I just was feeding my money back into the market as some sacrifice. And then periods of ups and periods of downs, and periods of loving crypto and like so happy that I'm in it, and then periods of absolutely hating it and being like, this is the worst place ever. The people are like bad, like the devs are bad things are happening. Just like really not enjoying crypto, and then I come across something like copy trading, and then I'm right back into it again. And I hope it comes off to you guys, like how passionate I am about not only copy trading myself, but helping you guys. Like I want to see you guys win. Like, and I want to see you guys like send me your, big gains that you made. And I'm never going to get jealous. Like I'll be, so even if you don't find a partner, you always have me to talk to. You can always share your gains to me. You can always bring your questions to me. And you know that I'm someone who's always going to be rooting for you.
That means a lot, man. That's awesome. That's
Of
awesome.
course, man. It makes me happy to do. It's like, it's a finite time we have in this world, and if I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and right now it's copy trading, and that's how I'm spending most of my time. It's great that now I have an outlet where I can at least help, because before I'm just making me money, and that's cool and all, but I want to give back to the world in some way, pay my dues.
Yeah, I would definitely do the same. And in the end, like helping people helps yourself too. Like if you have a group of people and you like make a coin moon, right? And then hey, you all make money together, right? That's awesome.
For sure. And every time like you answer a question, no matter how many times you've answered it, I was talking to actually Andy about this, and I feel like I just build my knowledge from that question. Like I already answered it before, but this time I'm answering it differently, because I'm answering it on the basis of how I already answered it, but now I'm applying some new things that I may have learned along the way. So every time I'm answering a question, it's not like, man, I've already answered this question before. It's like, can I improve the way I kind of handle this question so it could be more concise, more beneficial, more, let's say, encompassing?
Word. Yeah, because you're learning yourself too, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, exactly, man. So everything like I learn with you guys, I can go and I can apply it myself. And, I'm actively copy trading, and that's what I'm doing right now full time. So it's like, yeah, it's a total benefit. A good place to be right now is, with you guys. And it's requiring me to kind of, stretch out more and learn even more than I had before, because I need to come with you guys with fresh topics, right?
Yeah, I got one last question, because you're always looking for new wallets with your buddy, right? So how long does a wallet usually last?
It really depends on the wallet. We've had wallets that we got like at the beginning and still have them. And then we had this really great wallet that was hitting like almost every time for us. Like it's like the best wallet we've had. And that wallet switched up on us in like 2 weeks.
Because I heard sometimes when a guy notices people copy trading them, they like trap you into a shit coin and stuff. So is there a way to avoid like getting completely, like if you buy every time he does in the shit coin and he does that on purpose, he can clean you out basically, right?
Well, not really. I mean, like, dude, if you notice that happening and your copy trader is now switching up completely from like how he used to be, like, you give him one, you give him two chances, and you're like, I'm gonna turn him off for now and see. Just I'm gonna monitor and see what he's up to. Just be aware.
Is it smartest to put the copy trading off when you're not on screen? Because by the time, if you leave it on and you're away for a day, and by the time you get back, you can get cleaned out, right?
Yeah. So if you trust your traders and you've had them for a while and they're like consistently hitting and they have the high win rate and all that, leave those ones on if you feel comfortable doing it. But like if you have a guy who like you just added today and you have no idea, like do not leave him overnight. Like last time I left a new guy put overnight, I added him in the evening, like right before bed. I go to bed and I wake up to like 3 SOL being gone. I mean, like it's pretty devastating to wake up like that in the morning, and it's because he added the new guy and he totally switches up. He switched up his strategy completely. Like he was trading so good, and then he just like went to like almost like panic mode where he's buying everything and just losing on everything.
Damn. All right. Yeah. Cool, man.
All right. What's that?
Another question. Yeah. How do they notice? How do they notice that they being copy traded?
Okay, so I think what some of them do is they do their trade, and after they're done with their trade, they put like a 0.01 buy and try to see who else is copying their 0.01 buys.
Oh.
That's what I think, because I followed a few traders now who've done that. The one guy that I said was really good, he did that too, and he switched up on us quite quickly. And then yeah, I see a couple people doing it, like, because we look at a lot of wallets, right? So even if it's not like the best wallet, we're still looking into it a little bit more if it looks pretty decent. And then we're seeing that they're placing those $1 buys after. And I'm like, do these like traders who know they're going to be copied and they're pretty good traders, like, do this as a strategy? I'm not positive, but like, why else would they be doing this such a small buy after they've already won?
And just bad person, I guess.
What's that?
He was asking why they do that. I would suggest maybe just fucked up in the head.
Dude, first I thought it was some type of like ritual where they came back to the coin and then threw $1 at it to be like, thank you for like giving me gains.
Well, for the fallen homies.
Yeah, exactly. Just pouring some out, right? Yeah, but I couldn't ever wrap my head around it, and now I do think it's a strategy for them to see who's tailing them, because like I kept on being like, man, like, this ritual is so weird, because I didn't ever think it was anything to do about like trying to find who's trading them. But now I'm starting to think like that's the reason they did it, and it seems less weird now.
Yeah, man, I swear some of these crypto guys are like, I went full detective mode on one wallet, right? And I like bought manually after him every time. But after like a while, he was doing the weirdest things, and I was tracking his wallet on Telegram, so I could like check his transaction. And before the coin came out, I noticed he every time he had it in a transaction, so I already knew the address before it was out. And but after a while, he was like making shit coins and rugs, and it's like he was shaking me off, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's no good. A couple of
These guys
people
are
told me today they
detectives.
got into like freeze trades, like they would enter a trade with their copy trader and then their accounts would be frozen. I'm like, man, that's never happened to me. So it's just like thank God that it hasn't happened to me, but it's just like such an unfortunate thing to happen. But if that happened to me once, I would really look into like what they were doing. I would look at like how I would just pull up their the other tokens that they got me into, or that they were doing, and seeing if they had freeze enabled. Because as soon as that happens to me once, I'm not like taking the chance that my copy trader just entered a freeze trade.
Yeah, I think it must have been some kind of dev, because in the start he made like mooning fucking coins, and after a while that he made shit coins. And it's like these dev types, man, they can get nasty, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the one wallet that I had that I was telling you guys that was really good, he switched up after a bit. He had like 50 wallets that would trade on these tokens. Like, he would have one wallet and then he had all of his wallets copy trading, and they were just making so much profit. Like, I remember looking at his wallet, it was like at 500 Sol. The wallet that this guy that I was copying was sending to, and then I saw a bunch of other wallets like trading the exact same tokens, hitting the exact same tokens I was trading the same amount. I'm like, this guy's cleaning house. And I felt like the tokens he was making, they weren't like super mooning. They were going to like maybe like 60K, 40K, 50K, but like we would get in so low because they were getting in so low, and it would do still like maybe a 8x, 10x, 12x, whatever. But I feel like they were making the coins, and they have enough influence to like pump it up a little bit. Like, either they're working with influencers or whatever, but like it seemed really unnatural. And all these coins we were entering into, like, it didn't seem like there was communities for any of it. It was just very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy world out here. What the hell? That's why I'm scared to
Yeah.
actually try, man. But maybe in a few days or nights, who knows? I just lost
I
like
mean,
some
you
money.
shouldn't be like so scared to try if you're like doing tests, because if you start out with copy trading, you should only be doing tests. You should be doing small amounts with like smaller amounts of gas and like not risking that much. So like if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You know, you're not risking that much for it to be like worrisome. When it becomes worrisome is when you start risking like a decent amount of capital per trade. But you should only do that after you've like tested a wallet.
Yeah, it's one of these nights, man. I'm gonna actually try because I was so sketched out by by everything. I just entered manually, tracking motherfuckers. But yeah, it's a lot of time consumption, man, for nothing because I lost money in the end. So.
Yeah, it's like you have to have the mindset in crypto of being a profit maximalist. And like it's hard when you're like playing in a space where there's a bunch of people who are willing to do whatever for profits and they're doing it in the unright way. But like you still have to be you know, you still have to be a person of integrity. I mean, you don't want to lose yourself to crypto, lose yourself to get a little bit of money. But at the same time, you really have to focus on like profitable things. If it's not working for you, if it's not profitable after you know a lot of time, you know, a couple weeks, a week put into it, and like you grind it and it's like really not profitable, and then maybe move on to something else. I spent way too much time on stuff that wasn't profitable when I could have figured out other things.
Yeah, I wasted a month and probably over 500 euros. So
you know that there's airdrop hunters that like make millions of dollars a year because they're so good at like finding these airdrops that are going to be popping. This one guy made like 1.2 million alone off that Jupiter airdrop because he started farming it from the beginning. He said it took him like, you know, a couple weeks to do it, and he just spent a couple hours farming it every day, and then got 1.2 million worth of Jupe on the airdrop.
that's crazy.
Like there's lots of ways to make money in crypto. I mean, you know, if you're feeling discouraged, just find alternative ways. I mean, the one thing I keep on saying and I go back to with copy trading is like this is the best way in my opinion, because like my boy says this, the one that I work with, he's like, if you could have copied Warren Buffett in the stock markets, like wouldn't you have done that? I'm like, yeah, he was the trader, he was the man, like he was the one you'd want to copy. I'd copy him and other people like him, but of course it's not possible in the stock markets because of the visibility. But because we're on the blockchain, we have access to all of these traders that are the Warren Buffetts of crypto that are just constantly hitting, constantly making money, you know, bringing in 100 plus SOL a month. And it's like, we have the ability to copy them. So, I mean, like, it just makes sense to me. I mean, I can legit see the statistics. I can see what is likely to happen. And if it's not working up, I can switch it up and find a new guy.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. Damn.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, once you're ready, it seems like you're scared to get your feet wet, but once you're ready, like, just dive right in, man. Just give it your all for a bit. Give it your all for 2 weeks. If it doesn't work out, say, at least I gave it my all and figured it out, and try to figure it out, right? But I really do think if you actually, like, put yourself into my shoes and, like, just realize, like, you know, you want to make something out of yourself in crypto, you want to make a lot of money, you want to do well, you want to learn something, you want to excel in something, then like copy trading is something that is so untapped yet. And like we're going into the bull market where we're going to see like crazy runs. I was here for the last bull market and it was just insane. Money just flown everywhere and coins are reaching 100 million market cap and then they're going to 1 billion market cap within 2 days after that. Like it just gets crazy. And just imagine if you get your profit traders set up now that are like really good at hitting these like early projects and have insider information, you can literally be printing, like have days where you're printing 100 plus SOL in like a trade, right? But you have to set yourself up now for that.
That's true, man. But how do you like? How do I position myself to get like insider info and like How do you actually do that? Like, make friends? I mean,
Yeah, make friends, but mostly like be valuable to other people. Like you get information if you're valuable. If you can do something to help someone, or if you can do something to help the project, you know what I mean? Like the reason influencers get insider information is because um, obviously they have people, if they post, they're gonna buy, and a lot of people abuse that power. So like I'm not like huge on that whole aspect, but like yeah, just becoming valuable in ways where you can assist these devs and stuff. I mean, if you're a website creator, maybe connect with devs and be like, I can do your dev or your websites for free. Just give me the information on your drops and stuff. And like, I don't know, use whatever you got to kind of leverage yourself.
gotcha. Yeah. And what if you're skillless? What if you can't do that?
You're
Oh man.
skillless? What do you mean? You're not skillless, bro. Don't tell yourself that. That's terrible. How long have you been on this planet for? You haven't learned a thing? Don't tell me that.
Yeah, but not relatable to this. Like, I can make websites, I can make tokens. I mean, I can't do anything useful in that aspect. I mean,
Well,
think
figure out what you can do. I mean, from your real world experience, like what can you bring into crypto from your real world experience? You're pretty good at talking, so you could, you know, help host someone's voice chats. Like, say Matt Apes doesn't want to do his voice chat, because he doesn't want to dox his voice or something. You know, you could like be like, I will host your voice chat. Try to link up with people who have influence that you'll host their voice chat, and return you get fed some information. I don't know. There's so many ways.
yeah, okay, man. I'll sleep on that. Cheers, man.
Yeah, of course, no problem. I am gonna shut things down. Sorry.
One last question.
Yeah, sure.
How many wallets do you trade simultaneously?
Right now, like 7.
Okay, and for a beginner, what would you prefer?
Like 1 to 3.
1 to 3?
Yeah, 1 to 3 for a beginner. I think until you're like kind of feeling your bearings, you kind of know how your guys are, and you're getting like more confident and your capital's up a little bit. Like I think 1 to 3 is good to handle for a beginner. I think the reason I have so many on is because I've had so many on for so long now that like I really know them well, and then I have new guys I've added who've been performing well. So like it's easy for me today to be like, find another wallet and add it on if I want to. Yeah, but it just takes some time to build up that like confidence to have so many people running at once, I guess.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming. I hope you continue to gain benefit from being here, and I hope you take what you learned here and you go put some hours in and apply it. You know, the more time that you give to this, the more that you're going to get back. And like I said, the bull run's coming soon. You want to be prepared. You want to be positioned well. You want to have some good wallets that are hidden, you know. So when that does come, we're all printing together. I don't want to see any man left not printing.
Word, man.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your evenings, day, whatever time it is there, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, thanks, man. Thank you
No
for
problem.
everything.
Of course. Happy. All right. Easy,
Bye.
guys.